Okay guys, here we go again. This time, back sleeping. Let's talk about the proper way if you're going to sleep on your back. The big thing I think is so many people, when they sleep on their back, they don't have a pillow that fits them properly or a pillow that supports their neck. So let me give you a couple of examples of what some of my patients do or what I see people doing. And hopefully you can see this. Okay, so a lot of people, what ends up happening is they don't have a pillow that's the right fit for them. It's either too fluffy or it's too flat. If it's too flat or they think they're not getting support, then they end up putting like two pillows, some kind of craziness. So what that ends up looking like is when they're sleeping, their head or their chin is to their chest, and that is definitely not in a neutral position. Or if they sleep on a pillow that is too flat, now my head is angled down, and that's putting a little bit too much pressure on my cervical spine. So then people end up doing all kinds of crazy stuff, like trying to fluff it up this way, or trying to put their hands underneath this way. All of that just to try to get a little bit of a better support onto the cervical spine. So one thing that works for some of my patients, and I know a lot of you in this company travel often for work, not currently, but this is a tip for when you guys actually everybody is back opened up and you're traveling again for work. So most of you have some kind of travel pillow, hopefully. For some people that aren't very wide from front to back or very wide from side to side, this is actually a pretty good solution for a lot of people, just to have normal cervical support when they're sleeping. I mean, it really is that simple. These are what, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. So that's a good, if you are predominantly a back sleeper, this is a good solution. Especially when you guys start to travel again for work and you're at the different hotels, and some of them have like these really huge feather pillows that you sleep on, and then by the end of the night they're like, what, this big? That doesn't offer any support. You're not getting restful sleep. Or they have just those really thick cotton-filled pillows that don't move at all. I think they're just supposed to be decorative, but those are really uncomfortable. So here is a really good solution if you're primarily a back sleeper. Another solution is, if you don't currently have that, you can try just rolling up a towel. And again, depending on how wide you are from front to back and side to side, but that can also be an option. And if you can see here, I'm in a neutral position. However, my head is a little bit low. I'm starting to feel a little bit pressure. So if that's the case, you can also take another, you might just have to play around with this a little bit, but you could take another towel, because that was a little bit low for me. You could put a towel underneath and then prop a towel up that way. And actually that's a little bit too high for me. So what I would do then is just take the towel and take that in half. Just like what we did with the office setups, everything is going to be kind of custom to what you guys have at home. So now when we're in this position, now I'm neutral. Now I don't feel like my shoulders are coming off the bed. Now my head doesn't feel like it's too low. I'm right where I need to be. So that's great. If you guys have a pillow at home that you really like to use, but it might be a little too low, you can also just take a towel and just fold it depending on what height you need, and you can place that underneath, and then that'll give it a little bit more height. So as you're sleeping in the nighttime, now you've got a little bit better support on the neck. Also, they do have pillows out there. If you can see that, they have a little bit of a bump out where your head, underneath where the neck is supposed to be. So they do have pillows called, this is a Pillowise, P-I-L-L-O-W-I-S-E, Pillowise.com. You can find a a doctor near you, or you can order through them online. You just take three different measurements. They have 6 different sizes. And so I do not use this pillow to sleep on my back. This is a side sleeper pillow. But if this were for me, for my back, I would take the bigger end here and I would place that under my neck. This is too big for me. If I were to be predominantly a back sleeper, then this, for me, this little hump side here would be a little bit lower. Because right now my neck is tilted forward and that's going to put too much pressure on the base of my skull. I hope all of that makes sense. I hope those were some helpful tips for you back sleepers out there. Also, for some people, they find comfort in taking, I'll put this back up here. Put it the right way. Some people need a little bit extra support under their knees as well when they sleep. So you could do something like that, or you could have a pillow that's even a little bit wider, just depending. Hopefully, that's it. Again, if you guys have questions, you can always email me, but those are just some basic guidelines to have optimal sleep position if you are a back sleeper.